Have you ever noticed how almost every superhero always has big shoulders? Not just because they're the broadest part of the upper body, but because they exude power, symmetry, and athleticism. For the longest time, I've had some pretty underwhelming shoulders, but since then, I found the best ways to build them, and my shoulders have grown way bigger. So now I want to show you the basics of building your shoulders and pro lifting techniques you can implement, which will save you years of hard work. So to do this, we'll have to break the shoulders down into 3 parts: the front delt, the side delt, and the rear delt. First up, the front delt. These guys are what help you lift stuff in front of you, like picking up groceries or grabbing objects from shelves. They also give you that separation between your shoulders and chest. You don't have to worry too much about these since pushing exercises like push-ups, bench press, and dips will already hit them. But if you really want to max out the volume on these delts, go for cable or dumbbell front raises. This involves lifting a weight in front of your body to shoulder height, engaging the front part of your shoulder. You want to keep a slight bend in your elbows instead of keeping them locked. You also want to control the weight instead of using momentum, and make sure to get a deep stretch at the bottom. For this, we want to aim for about 3 to 4 sets of 8 to 12 reps, and do each set till failure. So basically, you want to push until your muscle gives out and you can't do another rep. And we want to be around 12 reps when this happens. If you're working out at home, you might have heard someone talk about pike push-ups, but honestly, a book bag full of weights and doing front raises works way better. Not everyone has the mobility to do pike push-ups, but front raises lets you isolate your delts, provide a better stretch, and is versatile for everyone. Next, we got the side delt. These are the muscles that really give you that wide V-taper look. You'll want to work these doing side lateral raises. Grab a dumbbell or cable and raise your arms to the side, just slightly in front of your body with a slight bend in your elbows. We want to do about 3 sets till failure or around 12 reps. And here's a pro technique. After finishing up with the 3 sets of lateral raises, you want to switch it up and hit the seated dumbbell overhead press. This movement mainly works the front delts, but because we pre-fatigue the side delts, this will crank up the activation in those side delts even more. This is because the side delts become the limiting factor in the movement. As you press the weights up, ensure that your wrist stays straight and aligned with your forearms. Your thumb should be pointed towards your cheek throughout the movement. You also want to do 2 to 3 sets of this close to failure. Now let's talk about the rear delts. The best exercise for doing this is a reverse pec deck. The trick to doing this is to push your shoulders forward and sweep your arms outward like there's cash all around you and you're trying to get as much money as possible. Focus on getting a deep stretch at the start of the movement and a hard contraction at the end. We want to go for about 4 sets, keeping your form tight and controlled. If your gym doesn't have a pec deck machine, you can do cable rear delt flies. Set the cable at above head height and pull the cable out and back in the sweeping arc while focusing on the stretch as your arms go across your body. And if you're working out at home, you can do banded face pulls. Anchor a resistance band at above head height, grab it with both hands, and pull it towards your forehead while flaring your elbows out to the sides. You should feel your rear delts and upper traps light up when it's done right. But don't stress it too much because your rear delts are already getting worked indirectly during pulling movements like pull-ups, rows, and deadlifts. These isolation exercises will just help bring them up faster, especially if they're lagging behind. If you can, use cables or machines for all of these movements. You also want to hit shoulders at least twice a week. So let's say on your push days you could do front raises and side delts, and on your pull days you could do rear delts. Or if you would like, you could have a whole day dedicated to shoulders only. These muscles recover fast, so don't skimp out on volume. And here's a big tip: control the negative. That's the lowering portion of the movement. Slowing down the negative forces your muscles to recruit more muscle fibers. This will lead to better overall muscle development. Now let's move on to a pro technique you could start incorporating, like a drop set. A drop set involves performing an exercise till failure, then reducing the weight and continuing the set without rest. So let's say, for example, you do a set of lateral raises with 15-pound dumbbells and your muscle can't do any more after the 12th rep. From there, you want to drop the weight to about 10 pounds and then do another set till failure. When you hit failure at a certain weight, dropping it allows you to keep going and recruit more muscle fibers. This allows you to exhaust your muscle even more than you would with a standard set. If you're looking to grow other muscle groups, make sure to subscribe, and I'll be breaking down everything in future videos, sharing my exact techniques I use to build muscle fast, get stronger quicker, and hit these numbers in the gym. I'll also go over how I recovered from injuries and how to avoid these injuries so you won't have the same problems I've had. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.